Hi, and welcome to episode 41. Welcome back. This episode is all about travel nursing. So if you've ever wondered how we do what we do, Swift Family Robeson Expedition, a big part of that is my wife's job. That's how we have chosen to become semi-location independent. So if you've ever wondered about how travel nursing is different than regular nursing or the different ways you might be able to travel more, this episode is for you. Come along. In this episode, we're only going to cover two things: the questions we get asked most often, and then how travel nursing fits into our family life.
Good morning. It's a beautiful day here at Marina Del Rey. I'm in my parking garage getting ready to go to work. It's about 6:15 in the morning. Excited for a new week. I'm excited right now that the traffic doesn't look too bad, even though everything's kind of started to get rolling again. Surely and slowly, but I am just gonna take you on a little bit of my day as a travel RN. Obviously, I can't take you into the hospital or really get down to the nitty-gritty. That is all classified. Being a travel nurse feels a little bit like you are standing on quicksand. You're not exactly sure who's there to help you most, where to find things, and what's the best way to go about solving a problem. But if you really approach every day as a new adventure, you've got something to learn and you've got something to give back, then you'll be fine. The procedure for walking into work has changed drastically since we have had this whole pandemic. So we get in line. We are processed through a tip station and given a mask and a tag that says that we're approved to be in the hospital for the day because we don't have a fever. It doesn't take long. It's very well organized.
Okay, let's cut straight to it. So what is travel nursing? Why would you do that? Like, you gave up an incredible job, a dream house, all that kind of stuff. Why in the world would you do travel nursing at all, especially at this point?
So travel nursing is just where you take your skills on the road for approximately 13-week contracts. You can go anywhere in the country as long as it's a compact licensure state. It's pretty easy to get the licensure within the states that you want, such as California, Washington. So you just have to have a little bit of planning.
Okay, so tell us about the agencies, because from what I understand, the agencies that hire you and get you the job in the hospital, they'll pay for your license too sometimes?
Sometimes agencies will pay for your licensure. But I want to go back to the question that you had. Why give up everything? Number one, it's the adventure. It's the experience that you gain by spreading your wings and going to another hospital, another state. Everybody does things differently. And I think that regardless of the experience that you have, you can benefit from it.
So pros and cons. So the biggest pro is? There
is a lot of political stuff in hospitals, and you just don't need to deal with that when you're traveling. You're only going to be there for a short time.
That must be a big relief. You know,
that's super fun.
You get into a pickle and you're like, I'm out of here soon.
You get to be the hero. Like, woo, I'm here to save the day, and then you're out. Peace out. It's great. So that is a big pro. What would you say are some of the pros to travel nursing since you've been along with me on this journey?
Well, I've never been inside the hospital, but it sets our adventure free. We're tagged up. It's like I'm leading most of the schooling and she's making most of the money right now. That's how things are working. But when she's off and when I'm done with my duties for the day, it's time to hit the road. And we have such an ambition for those adventures, and we're united in that, the unity of our family. So that is definitely the biggest pro I can think of, the way that your job sets this adventure free.
Another pro that most nurses think is there, and sometimes it is the financial capability that travel nursing affords you. I will tell you, it is not as lucrative as one might think. That being said, the contracts range wildly, just between state to state, specialty to specialty, years of experience. All these things determine how much you make in these contracts and how you pick your housing as well. Do you get a tax-free stipend? Do you have the agency set up housing for you at an Airbnb? Do you have a van down by the river and you get to pocket all that money? You're going to be just fine if you do. I will tell you, we've done everything. We've done the RV. Hope to get back to that. Maybe, knock on wood. We don't know. We've done the Airbnb. We are now living in an apartment that we furnished. And we have friends that have a beautiful home, like they've redone the inside of their van.
Yeah.
And they are currently at the base of a mountain, just like living it up. It's great.
So they get the stipend for moving and living expenses, and they've got their own build. So talk about saving money. Wow.
No matter what you do regarding housing, it's a change of pace and it is truly an adventure. You're going to be switching it up and it's going to be exciting. One of the things that really drew me to this type of nursing was the minimal attention that I pay to every ancillary thing. So I'm focused on nursing and family. When I'm not nursing, I'm completely focused on family. I'm not focused on a church group. I'm not focused on how pretty my house is and planting. Not that I don't love those things, but for now, I'm really intense and intentional on focusing on my family.
All right, so some of the pros: maybe make a little more money, tax-free stipend, save on lodging, focus on the family, not get too deep into your job. Those are good. So what about some of the disadvantages? Like, it's not all rosy. So what are some of the things people should consider?
I think just the red tape of the taxes. In order to get your tax-free stipend, you have to have a home, like a tax home in another area. Yeah. So you have to figure that out. We use traveltax.com.
So friendly, like on the phone.
So great.
They'll talk to you. They're really good.
I'm sure there's other sources. That's just who we use, not an affiliate, but they do a fine job.
What are some more cons? What are some more
cons? You feel like you know nothing when you get there to your first assignment. So if you are too dependent on security and being the top dog where you are, this is probably not for you unless you're willing to give that up. You have to have that kind of confidence in your skills to move around and take a chance.
So by that, you mean like all your charting and the way you do your job changes just based on what state you're in? And
hospital to hospital even. And these people don't know you and they're gonna test you to make sure that you're dependable and that you're actually gonna be a help and not a hindrance.
Okay, some more cons. What else? So that's security. What about job security? Like, are you worried about having a family being a travel nurse? Is it less stable or less?
I have not experienced any lack of stability in travel nursing. Maybe that's just my specialty. I work in surgery, but I have rarely seen people sent home, even in crisis such as ours at this time in the nation. It might be different in different areas, but I have personally not seen it. When you decide to take this travel job, be ready for the hard work. These people know that they need to pay you regardless of whether you're there or not. You are going to be the last one to get sent home on a slow day. And when you're there, you're going to get the hardest room, the hardest patients. That's okay. Take it as a compliment that you can handle it and just chalk it up to experience. It's lovely. This is always a con, but it's insurance costs. We have found that the agencies that we've tried to work with, they have very expensive insurance. That being said, we have 7 people, so.
Yeah, you can expect that, right? So we've chosen to go with a health share to meet our family's needs.
For several reasons. Basically, we don't want to pay a deductible every 13 weeks if we have something go wrong. And it's more affordable and it pays the bills when we do have them. It seems like a win-win situation to me.
What else is a con?
Well, it goes without saying that being away from friends and family, that's hard. That's hard no matter how you look at it.
Right.
And I will say though, as a travel nurse, you're kind of able to make your own schedule. You can work in your vacations, your weeks off in your contracts.
So when you're negotiating, you can say, I need Christmas off.
I need Christmas off.
Yeah.
Or I need my mom's birthday off. I need Mother's Day off.
So the disadvantage is that's unpaid, right? Usually.
That is usually unpaid. If you stick with a company for long enough, you can have sick time. You can even have some paid time off.
Oh, wow.
So look into it. There's not only opportunity for nurses, there are also radiology techs, CSTs, which are scrub techs, any other medical professionals. There's even management. So if you are thinking, oh, I'm not a nurse, I can't do that, check it out. If you're in a medical profession, there might be some way that you can make this work for you.
Now that we've covered some pros and cons, we just want to cover some of the questions that were on our mind when we started this journey. One of the first ones was the fact that most of the travel nurses that we knew were young. I mean, there was a reputation that you're straight out of nursing school. So the question was, can we do this with a family? Would we find housing within the contract for 7 people? Is this something we would be able to afford on our budget?
We just need something a little bigger. Yes, the answer is a resounding yes. You can do it with the family. You can do it with pets. You can take all your aunts and uncles and cousins if you want, if you can afford that.
That wasn't a hint.
So yes, you can do this. It's a fabulous way to experience the country.
Another question we had at the beginning is, could we pull it off financially? I was running a company at the time and she was working at a hospital in St. Louis. And so we had to look into that. Like, if I sell the company and I'm no longer making an income, can we do it with one? One of the key things that helped us was dumping a mortgage and simplifying. So if you get rid of a lot of the things that you don't need as part of the whole moving onto the road process, suddenly you don't have the bills associated with those things.
Yeah, it totally simplifies your life so much better. We do still have a residence in Missouri, but we have traded in all that complexity and everything that goes in the house.
One thing that might be helpful for you is to turn your current residence into a rental. Maybe you get a real estate coach or somebody who can help you with that. Then that house could become a source of revenue and it's one less thing to worry about. So what used to be a bill is now a source of cash flow to help you travel.
Another question we had was, how are the kids going to deal with this? Moving from their hometown to who knows where.
Yeah.
And without friends and family. We were already homeschooling, so a lot of people asked, what do you do with the school with the kids? And that was never a hard transition for us, truly. We did change curriculums when we went to the RV just to lighten our load a bit. But the kids have adjusted so well. They go through phases where they miss their friends and family, obviously, but they will all tell you at this point that they love it and they love the relationships, and it was a good decision, basically. So if you're worried about your kids, I would talk to them because they might surprise you.
We've been making our way down the marina here near Mother's Beach, and we are just looking forward to when things reopen. We're going to take the boys on a little whale watching, deep sea fishing excursion, whatever we can get our hands on. We just can't wait to get out on the water. So
you can't wait to go anywhere,
yeah,
for that matter. So we've gone over pros, cons. We've gone over a couple of the questions we had, and maybe other people have asked us a lot. One thing we wanted to highlight was how this all fits into our family life, because it's not normal, right?
Yeah.
But we enjoy the fact that we take the more challenging path sometimes. I would say that it fits into our family beautifully just because we're kind of not a normal family.
Our faith is really important to us. So things like Christmas and Easter with our family and all those traditions, those were all different this year. But the positive side of that is the way that we drew together as a family. So I would say we're accomplishing our mission. You know, the Easter Bunny or Santa Claus or whatever your traditions are, you find a way to make those things happen on the road while focusing more on your own family.
One thing that I have really enjoyed is the fact that I'm able to leave work at work. When you're in a permanent job, sometimes you take on that job as part of your identity, and I'm able to leave work at work and truly focus on the family. I think in part because I'm constantly reminded of the reasons why I'm here. I'm in a new city. I'm not going to forget why I'm doing what I'm doing. I can't go see my sister, but we can go to Big Bear this weekend and take some magnificent hikes on the mountain. So one great thing that we experience as I'm travel nursing around the country is the fact that when we take the children somewhere, we get to be kids with them, which is kind of a plus. So it's not that we're just taking them to the zoo and they get to be kids and we have to be the adults watching them. We're all experiencing something new every time we go somewhere.
Yeah.
It's new to all of us.
Right.
And that's fun.
And it's with the mindset too, whether you're the person behind the camera trying to get good footage or the one in the boat, you know.
Falling over the boat.
It's the Disney in us. We're just adventuring together. Hopefully the way we have found to become semi-location independent can be inspiring for you and maybe launch a new vacation idea, a new family event or tradition, or who knows, maybe we'll even see you on the road someday.
Or
on a boat.
On a boat.
We hope you enjoyed just a little sneak peek into Dee's work and our family life as a result of it. Thanks for joining us.
See you next week.
Let's see, what are you making?
Butter. Real butter.
You think it's ready?
Mine is yellow. It's yellow.
Okay, go ahead and open it up.
You got butter.
Wow, cool.
With cream. It's strawberries. How many minutes does it take for
Like about 10 minutes. Let's see, what are we doing?
I am cutting the green onions.
Go ahead. Right there. And then,
There's the
is that the end? Or are they gonna grow back?
they're gonna go back.
Here we go. We're getting some green onions. Here we go. Go ahead. What do you think, Joseph? Pretty good?
The best green onions.
The best onions you've ever had? What do you think, Felicity?
Better than just white onions.
You like it better?